What's good, guys? It's Ron's Rise, and I'm here at Maserati Alfa Romeo of Daytona Beach, where I'm here with the 2018 Alfa Romeo Giulia, the car of the year for 2018 through Motor Trend magazine. And you're looking at what is the cheapest Alfa Romeo Giulia you can get. Now, this is the cheapest one on our lot, and I'll use the word cheap. We'll say most affordable Giulia that we have on our lot. Now, you're wondering, well, what's the price? Let's go straight to the sticker and just cut all the small talk, and then I'll let you know why you should stick around. So your base price here for this Giulia is $38,195. I mean, crazy that that price even gets that low. Now for your final MSRP, you're looking at $39,440 US. Reason being, the destination charge there is $1,245 US just to get it here and onto our lot. So it started off at $38,195 and went up to $39,440 just because we had to get it here to us. If that wasn't the case, it would be even cheaper. It would be at that $38,000 range. So this car does not have any options on it whatsoever, but it's still a hell of a car. So I want to explain to you what it has, or more of what it doesn't have, and see that if you're in the market, would you be okay without those options? Because if that's the case, then you can pick up this kind of a car for this kind of a spec and still be okay with saving that money. So I kind of want to bring, you know, normally I bring the sports and the high priced models with all the stuff on it. Let's do it differently this time, and let's bring out something a little bit different for people just getting into the market, don't necessarily need all that stuff, but still want to be in an Alfa Romeo Giulia without all of the theatrics. So let's get into it. Now I'm starting under the hood. Reason being is some people still might not be convinced that they should get this car when it doesn't have all of the bells and whistles on it with no options. The beautiful thing about the Giulia is that they all drive the same. No matter what kind of options you get, it's all for show for the most part, besides the driver assistance packages. Inline 4, 280 horsepower. So you're getting the same engine for every single model besides the Quadrifoglio. You're still getting the 8-speed ZF transmission. They still all drive the same. So there's no drawbacks from getting a base model opposed to getting a TI model or TI Sport when they still have the same powertrain. So everything here is still the same no matter what kind of model you get. So you still get that same performance, which is something definitely to aspire towards. So what we'll do, ladies and gents, is start from the front here, work our way down the side to the rear, and then to the inside to show you what you're missing on the other models and seeing if you would even want that stuff to begin with, so you kind of know where to save your money on your options when you go to get your own Giulia. So up front, only thing you'd be missing here is if you were to get the Sport package or the Sport exterior, this front part here, which I've explained plenty of times before, so sorry if it's redundant, is a more refined piece. It's not all one piece into the button or into the bumper, but right here there's like a separate piece that gives it a sportier look, more aggressive edge than it just being all one front piece. That's the only difference in the front of the Giulia when you go to the Sport model. Other than that, the base model and Lusos have this same front bumper. So you're not missing much there. Now coming along the side profile of the vehicle, nothing new with the door handles, nothing new with the side skirts. They are all the same for all models. What you're missing on the side here is if you were to go to a Sport model, your window trim would go from chrome to black. Now it is a big difference as far as looks wise, but if you don't like the black look, because a lot of people are doing black now, gloss black, matte black used to be a thing, gloss black is now a thing, and if you don't into that kind of look, then this might just suit you well, and there's no extra upcharge for it. That's how it would come. But if you were to get a Sport model, you would go to black. So that's just another way to look at it. Now looking at the roof of the car, if you were to option out one of the panoramic sunroofs, you spent $1,300 just for the sunroof. Now, if you don't like the sunroof, which I've heard a lot of people in Florida say, because it's so hot in the summer, they stay away from sunroofs or cars with sunroofs because it bakes the inside of their cars. Now, granted, The sunroofs on the Giulia do have a cover over them from the interior side, so if the sun comes in, the cover is blocking a lot of that heat. But still, some people don't mind the sunroofs. Some people do. Some people like to use it for the natural light. Some people don't even open them and take full advantage of them. So you're not getting the sunroof on the base model Giulia. Let's talk about wheels. Right now you're looking at the 17-inch 10-spoke aluminum wheels, a base model wheel. There are also other base model wheels that come with the car. What you're missing here, 18 and 19-inch wheels, 19s being the biggest that they do on the Giulia, even the Quadrifoglio. The 5-hole, dark hole wheels, people love those sport wheels a lot. The wide-spoke wheels, which come in 18s or 19s, people like those wheels a lot. You can also do these 17s here. You can also do the 18-inch Lusso wheels. But if you like these wheels, you're not missing out on much. Now, your caliper color, you can go with red, with the white script, which is an extra charge. You can go with yellow, different colors like that will add some flair. But if this is cool and under the radar to you and it works, then you're saving money in that aspect by just sticking with the 17-inch wheels here. Now, the only thing changing about the rear of the Giulia is if you were to get a TI Sport and you were to get the Sport Diffuser. The Sport Diffuser being a lot more aggressive, we've seen before. It's the middleman diffuser between the Quadrifoglio diffuser and the Lusso and base model diffuser. But the Lusso model looks just like this as well. So you're only changing if you go to the Sport or to the Quadrifoglio, which, you know, that's a whole different level. But just to kind of show you that if you get a Lusso, you're gonna get the same kind too. So if you like the Sport, you pretty much have one or the other for options as far as the rear diffuser goes. But the exhaust is the same as far as all of the cars besides the Quadrifoglio as well. So you're not missing anything in the rear. Now, you can do different paints. This paint here is Alpha Black, but there is a metallic black, and I'll show you right here. This Stelvio actually has a metallic black on it, and it's dirty, don't mind that. But you can kind of see the sparkles in it to where that's the metallic look over the flat black that the Giulia has here. You can also do the upgraded paints for a charge, like the Rosso Competition Red and the Tri-Coat White, the Trofeo White. If this is a good match for you, and you can stick with the Alpha White paint, Alpha Black, or Alpha Red, the base coat paints, then you don't have to get charged for that as well, and you can stick to the price range you want to be in around that $39,000 mark. Now, inside of the Giulia, you can tell from most of my videos that I do a lot of higher spec vehicles as far as the Giulias go, but you can tell this one's very basic, but it's still okay. So I'm going to explain to you the things that are missing from what you're normally used to seeing if you watch my videos. First off, at the steering wheel, you're missing the big Italian paddle shifters in the back. Just another way to shift manually than using your gear select here. Now, a lot of people who are new to the car are new to using paddle shifters or manual shifting in general. Now, it's not something you need to do. You have your drive mode there to where you can just go to drive, but then if you wanted to go to manual, you can do it here from the gear select. You don't need to do it from the paddle shifters. Now, the paddle shifters to me are, they're a great experience. I feel like I have full control of the car. I get to keep my hand on the wheel. It's just something very nice, but it's not something that if I didn't use, I would need. If I don't use manual, then I'm barely gonna even do this, you know? So what's the point of having the paddle shifters if I'm not even gonna use the gear select to go into manual and shift that way? So paddle shifters are not there, might not be something you would need. You also don't have the heated steering wheel here. So normally you would see kind of like a padding here for the grid of the heated steering wheel, and it'll be like a padding going all along the side here, and then it will stop up here. For the heated steering wheel option, normally it comes with the sport packages and the sport seats, so you definitely don't have it in this package. It's another thing that if you're in Florida, you can do without, trust me. Now, going along the dash here, you notice that in the Lusso models, or if you have the leather option trim, the extended leather package, your whole dash here, instead of being in this plastic, would be wrapped in leather, and it would have stitching to match the color of the leather going across the full dash here. So you are missing that. Now, if this is something that you don't care about as well, then you could probably deal with this. It's just something to help spruce up the look a little bit, because the plastic look isn't the greatest, but you know, for the price that you pay, it might be worth it. You can also change your different trims here as well, doing stuff like walnut wood or brushed aluminum to, you know, just something very subtle and simple. Now, I'm petting that like it's a cat, but you know what I mean? It's still a nice fit and finish to the interior. It just might not be any kind of the premium trims that we have available for the car. So another thing to look at. Going across here to the door, same thing with the extended leather package. This all up top would be covered in that leather with the contrasted stitching to match the color of the leather with the car. If you don't have that and it all blends in, whichever way it is, you can do this in brown, this part here in brown, you do it in red, but you don't have to do the leather, then it might be good. You might not like it all black, but you might like a contrast, but you still don't have to do the leather to get the upgraded colors or the, you know, the stuff as far as the interior goes. All this can be the same, just change the color out, and that might just do you well. I'm gonna come over to this side because right here, it doesn't look like much, right? But if you do have the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system, you're gonna get a Harman Kardon speaker here in aluminum that is going to give you that extra sound. Now, another thing that I noticed that some people don't really care much about the sound. The sound system is great to start, but if they do, it's always something to possibly consider getting a car with that option, because you'll know that once you turn up that sound, it's very crisp and very clear and not a lot of distortion. But you notice if you open the door and you're looking for that sound system and you don't see that round speaker right there, then you know that this particular model does not have it. Now, looking at the pedals of the car, you can option aluminum pedals that you can get to come with the car. Looks a lot better as far as the aesthetics go. It feels a lot better on your foot instead of the rubber pedals, I believe. It's very sporty, but that's something that's at the bottom of your feet, you know, that you might not really notice if you're in the car and, you know, you're just stepping on it. You know, nobody really sees it but you, unless they're looking from the driver's side in. So that might be an option that you could save out on. Also, the leather is something you can save on. Now, the colors aren't what really is the upgrade. It's the seats. You do have your Lusso seating, which is a lot more decorated, has the stitching going from side to side, looks a lot more finished, and pays attention to more detail. And Lusso stands for luxury, so that's what they do with those seats. They definitely give you a feel of luxury. Then you have your sport seats, which are very popular, that give you that sports feel. Now, everybody loves the sport seats because of the bolstering. The bolstering on the side comes more in and it hugs you a lot tighter. And then it has the perforated leather for that sporty look, but also has the heated seats and ventilated seats with that as well. And then with the sport seats, you have the extra thigh support to where if you press a button here and pull up, you get a retracting section for thigh support. So the sport seats are where some people can't compromise. So you have to take into account comfortability too. The standard seats might be better for people of a larger size. The sport seats really hug you in. So you might not feel as comfortable in those for longer trips. You have to decide. It might not be more about the looks and styling and functionality over the comfort. You guys decide. Now, something you'd be missing on the infotainment side, you see there's a blank here. Everything else is filled out, but there's a blank right here at the bottom. That is because this car is not equipped with navigation. Now, with that said, if you use your phone for navigation, you're saving money in that sense as well. That might be a hit or miss or a make or break for a lot of people because they expect navigation in the car, just they want it standard. If it doesn't have it, even if they still have it on their phone and they like their phone system, they may feel a little indifferent about it. So that is a big one you'll have to think about. This also has the smaller screen, the 6.5 over the 8.8 inch screen. So you'll see the screen size itself is still the same. They haven't chopped it down, but the display itself cuts off here. So now you're kind of thinking, okay, well, if I don't have navigation on this, then, you know, navigation is probably what I use that bigger screen size for. I can see all of this stuff just fine as far as the radio. You don't need giant text to go over the radio. Okay, that's big enough right there, right? So if you don't have the navigation, do you really need the giant screen for that? Something to think about. Now I'm just gonna give you guys a quick look at what this Giulia does come with. I'm gonna kind of go slow for you, so you can see what it comes standard with in the base model. And then what I'm gonna do is take you to one that's the most expensive one we have on the lot and compare the options, because this has no options on it as far as any additional equipment. And then you'll see how much you'll save and see what else it comes with. So now this is our Monza Red Alfa Romeo Giulia TI Sport. And this is one of our most expensive ones. Now, they get up to about $55,000. This is missing just a couple of things, but this is the most expensive one on the lot. So it's starting off at 40. Our model was starting off at 38. And after the options, it's up to 52,585. So already you're saving $13,000. Now, here's the kicker. This is where the money is going. Now, let me see how well you guys can see that. These are the options, the additional options that it comes with. And big things that you're gonna make note of are the driver assistance packages and the sunroof, along with the wheels. Big upgrades there. Also navigation. So just taking a quick look at this, I have featured this car before, but to go back to back to show you those things that I told you was missing on the car, we'll go through it really quickly. The front bumper is missing that piece there, the sportier piece. This does have the sunroof. This does have the black window trim on it, okay? This also has the bigger wheels, 19-inch wheels. Red calipers with white script, okay? All the stuff I was talking about. Just so I'm backing up my statements here. This also has the sportier rear diffuser. And then you go inside. This does have that upgraded sound that I was talking about, okay? This does have the extended leather package, so this is leather wrapped with the matching stitching. Okay, this does have that brushed aluminum trim as well. It has the sport pedals we were talking about. Also has the paddle shifters. And then if you look at the seats, they are the sport seats. And then things like those driver assistance packages, the bigger 8.8-inch screen, the navigation, all that stuff adds up when you look at it. Also the sunroof, that is panoramic roof is there. So all those things I was talking about ended up coming out to about $13,000 as far as what you were missing out on. Like I said, you can go higher. Things like the different paint choices and the different finishes can get you just a little bit higher, about another $2,000. Now, the paints themselves are about the $2,000 difference. So now you have to decide from there what kind of paint you like. Paints like the Rosso Competition Red, this is extra $2,200 US. Or paints like the Trofeo White, this is an extra $2,200 US. So you guys decide, is the base model Giulia worth the $39,000 that it comes? No options, ready to go. What do you guys think? Would you get this car? Do you need that other stuff? Or if you were to option one out, the cheapest one, what would be your make or break? Would you have to have the sport seats? Would you have to have the driver assistance package? Would you have to have the bigger wheels? I'm curious on what you guys think and what you would have to change. Some people are very simple. They just want the car to work. They just want it to perform. I want to know what you guys want. Definitely like, subscribe, and comment. I want to hear from you. Support the channel. And hopefully this video was helpful for anybody who's just getting ready to get into the market and they know where to start. This is your foundation, guys. With that said, this is Ron's Rides. from Maserati Alfa Romeo Daytona Beach. I will be talking to you guys in the next one. Stay tuned. Have a blessed day. Peace.